हरे कृष्ण। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, जमुना तीरा वनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन, जमुना तीरा वनचारी, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे, जय श्री गोपाल श्री गोपाल श्री गोपाल, जय श्री गोपाल। जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय, जय गौरानिताय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravind Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki, Anand Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye, Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. We're reading from Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 44. Sutta Uvacha Prithayetham Kalapadaihi Parinutakhilodayaha Mandaha Jashaha Vaikuntho Mohayan Ivamayaya. Sutta Uvacha Pratyetham Kalapadai Parinuta Khilodayah Pratyetham Kalapadai Parinuta Khilodayah Mandam Jahasa Vaikuntho Mandam Jahasa Vaikuntho Mohayan Ivamayaya. Sutta Uvacha Prithayetam Kalapadai Parinuta Khilodayah Mandam Jahasa Vaikuntho Mohayan Ivamayaya. Sutta Uvacha Prithayetam Kalapadai Parinuta Khilodayah Mandam Jahasa Vaikuntho Mohayan Ivamayaya. Sutta Uvacha Prithayetam Kalapadai Parinuta Khilodayah Mandam Jahasa Vaikuntho Mohayan Ivamayaya. Sutta Uvacha Prithayetam Kalapadai Parinuta Khilodayah Mohayan Ivamayaya. Mataji's. Sutta Uvacha. Sutta said, Prithaya, by Pritha, Kunti, Itham, this, Kalapadehi, by chosen words, Parinuta, being worshipped, Akhila, universal, Udayaha, glories, Mandam, mildly, Jahasa smiled. Vaikuntaha, the Lord. Mohayan, captivating. Iva, like. Mayaya, his mystique power. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Sudha Goswami said, the Lord, thus hearing the prayers of Kunti Devi, composed in choice words for his glorification, mildly smiled. That smile was as enchanting as his mystique power. Purport. Anything that is enchanting in the world is said to be a representation of the Lord. The conditioned souls who are engaged in trying to lord it over the material nature are also enchanted by his mystic powers. But his devotees are enchanted in a different way by glories of the Lord and his merciful blessings upon them. His energy is displayed in different ways, as electrical energy works in manifold capacities. Srimati Kunti Devi has prayed to the Lord just to enunciate a fragment of his glories. All his devotees worship him in that way, by chosen words, and therefore the Lord is known as Uttama Shloka. No amount of chosen words is sufficient to enumerate the Lord's glories, and yet he is satisfied by such prayers as the Father is satisfied even by the broken linguistic attempts of the growing child. The word Maya is used both in the sense of delusion and mercy. Herein, the word Maya is used in the sense of Lord's mercy upon Kunti Devi. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruh Shri Yutabadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sarva Shastrabdhi Piyushaha Sarva Vaideika Satphala Sarva Siddhanta Ratanadhya Sarva Lokaika Drikpada Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabho Kali Dhvanto Didaditya Shri Krishna Parivartita Paramananda Pathaya Prema Varshakshārayate Sarvada Sarvasevyaya Shri Krishnaya Namostute Madeka Bandho Matsangi Manguro Man Mahadhana Madanistārag Madabhagya Madanando Namostute Asadhu sadhuta dainati nichichotaraka hana muncha kadachinva premnarita kantayo spuraha mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatavaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. Hare Krishna. Extremely grateful for this opportunity to speak on such exalted prayers of Srimad Bhagavatam. Just now, in the last verse, Srimati Kunti Devi's prayers have just been summarized, just finished, and now Sudha Goswami is speaking the next event that is happening. And it is so satisfying to see the Lord reciprocating in such wonderful way with the prayers of a devotee. The devotee struggles, the devotee goes through so many ups and downs, and finally, as he makes the offering at the lotus feet of the spiritual master, at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, he is waiting for a very amazing reciprocation from the Lord. And here, the Lord is amazingly reciprocating with Kunti Maharani by giving a very mild smile. It's like a smile in different art forms. When you don't have language, you don't speak words, smile matters a lot. It could be a sarcastic smile, it could be a sign of approval, it could be a sign of solacing. It could be the smile could be a signal of comforting. So in different ways, the smile matters. And I remember when the early days of Krishna consciousness, we were told that whatever happens in this world, so many turmoils will come, but one thing is for sure, and that is that Srimad Rasarasarambhi Vamshivata Tatasthita Karshan Venu Swanergopi Gopinath Shriyastuna. Whatever might happen, Lord Gopinath is standing below the Vamshivat and he's smiling. And his smile will not change. Everything in this world will change. So whatever we do, if we direct our consciousness to that smile, for that smile, then the life is successful. It is very amazing that many times we look at the appearance of devotees and we expect the prayers or their consciousness to be like that. There are so many stories of devotees, well dressed, well mannered, and there are some devotees who are very ghastly dressed, but the consciousness of their heart is so very devotional. Srimad Bhagavatam gives us stark comparison of two personalities. Personalities of Srimati Kunti Devi, who is very motherly, very a queen, and the other comparison is of Vritrasura, who is very ghastly. All his hairs are coppery red, his eyes are as shining as sun, and his teeth are cluttering to bite into the enemy. And as he's normally if we had to choose a devotee via picture, I show a picture and show who is a devotee. Normally we would say somebody who is well dressed, has nice tilak. But at the same time, Bhagavatam says that one has to be seeing deep within the consciousness of a devotee, and that is when the actions and the prayers of that devotee reveal what amazing heart that devotee has, his reaction to this world, his reaction to the calamity that he goes through, his inner core sentiments towards the Lord are revealed when he comes in his life to a climax where you cannot hide. In our life, we can make over, we can present very well, we can be talking very nicely, we can be singing very nicely, we can be acting very nicely. You know, myself, I'm coming from a fine art background, so acting, smiling, speaking in a very polished way, gestures is something which is very, very mechanically taught. So in that way, you can't understand what a devotee is. But when the person goes through different trying situations in life, that is the time the real substance of his heart is disclosed. So Kunti Maharani here, for a long time, she has worshipped Krishna. Although Krishna is in a position of a nephew, but she has worshipped Krishna, and now, after such a long and arduous life, going through so many turmoils, probably if the newcomers will read Mahabharata and come to know that Krishna's devotees go through so many different turmoils, one will consider whether should I become a devotee of Krishna. But Kunti Maharani shows us what exactly the consciousness of a devotee is as they go through different turmoils. And after the whole climax, the whole war is over, now she just cannot control. She just wants to express her love towards Krishna. And she comes and says, "Oh, please wait, oh Lord, please wait," And she pours out, her heart. And, Vishwanath Thakur, in the translation, he mentions that the word Mohayan Iva Mayaya. Here, Srila Prabhupada mentions that smile was enchanting as his mystic power. Srila Vishwanath Thakur mentions that Krishna was overwhelmed. Vaikuntho Mohayan Iva Mayaya. He was enchanted by her Maya. In many times in Marathi also, when you say Maya, Maya means love, Kiti Maya here, how much you love me. So here, looking at the love of Kunti Maharani, Krishna got overwhelmed and he said, "No, what do I say?" No, he just smiled. He said, "Thank you. Thank you for whatever beautiful prayers." Krishna is mentioned here as Uttama Shloka, being glorified by so many devotees in so many different words, so many different choicest of words. Srimad Bhagavatam is filled with so many prayers, right from the Jantu to the demigod. Everybody is praying to the Lord in different ways. So here, Krishna is accepting everything, and he is accepting Kunti Maharani's love. Similarly, we see in Vritrasur's life. You see the whole, if you don't know the story and you go through their life, very good, nice. So, it's like an action movie where, Twashta is bringing Vritrasur out and he's coming and, marching towards the demigods, killing them, trotting upon them. And when the demigods come, they get prepared. They prepare themselves with the, irreproachable thunderbolt, the Vajra, made up of Dadichi's bones, and Indra is about to attack. And somehow or other, Indra doesn't have the courage to fight. And looking at the effulgence of all the demigods and their demeanor, all the other demons, they run away. So Vritrasur turns to them and says, "Do your duty, fight." And then he looks at the demigod and says, "Enough, I had enough. Staying in the demon body, I've been cursed, but I have to stay in this body but now please relieve me. The thunderbolt in your hand is so powerful. Don't lose your confidence and kill me. And in that, he prays to the Lord. And what amazing prayers. We see the substance of the prayers of Srimati Kunti Devi, where she says, please, Toyi me ananya vishaya. Let my consciousness flow towards you, breaking all the obstacles. Just like Mother Ganga flows. If you go to Rishikesh, you'll see the flow of Ganga is so enormous that anything coming in between, just breaking it. And what is the goal? Goal is the lotus feet of the Lord. So we have such amazing prayers by Vritrasura. Aham hareta vapadai kamula dasanudaso bhavitashmi bhuyah manasmareta shupater gunamste grinita vak karma karotu kaya. O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, will I be again able to be a servant of your eternal servants? So amazing. Everybody, the main feature of all devotees' prayers throughout Bhagavatam has been, let me be around devotees. Let me be around devotees where I'll be safe, where they are glorifying you. And we all had this experience in the lockdown where devotees were rare to see. That Janmashtami night when, you turn to the temple hall and there were only 5 to 10 devotees moving around, and the festival seemed so empty without devotees. And everybody, whoever were there, here, they were busy doing services, It is so difficult to survive without devotees. And the first prayer that Vritrasura is praying is, please, O Lord, when will I again go amongst those devotees? So that my mind may always think of your transcendental attributes, my words always glorify those attributes, and my body always engages in the loving service of your Lordship. Then he's saying, what do I not? Nanak prishtam na chaparameshtyam na sarvabhavam na rasadhipatyam na yoga siddhir apunar bhavam va samanjasastva virahaya kangshe. O Lord, sources of all opportunities, I do not desire to enjoy in Dhruvaloka, nor heavenly planet, going higher and higher, nor Brahmaloka, nor do I want to be the supreme ruler of all earthly planets or lower planets. I do not desire to be master of all the mystic powers, nor do I want liberation if I have to give up your lotus feet. It's very, very amazing. You said, what exactly you mean by giving up your lotus feet? What exactly you mean? It's a very simple line, but I was wondering, what exactly do you mean? Giving up lotus feet, giving up meditation on those lotus feet, giving up serving of that lotus feet, giving up the shelter of the lotus feet, giving up the shelter of the devotees who have taken shelter of that lotus feet. Next prayer he talks about, what is the nature of his eagerness? He's saying, how eager am I to serve you directly? And what starking, amazing analogy he's giving. Ajata paksha iva mataram khaga stanyam yatha vatsara kshudartaha priyam priyaiva vishitam vishanya manoravindakshadidikshate tvam. O lotus-eyed Lord, as baby birds that have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother to return and feed them, as small calves tied with ropes await anxiously the time of milking, when they will be allowed to drink the milk of their mother, or as a morose wife whose husband is away from home always longs for him to return and satisfy her in all respects, I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you. Just 4 prayers, but the essence of Mama uttama shloka janeshu shakyam samsara chakre bhramata swakarma bhi tvanmaya yatma atmachadara gehesho asakta chittasya nanatha bhuyat. saying, "Oh Lord, I'm wandering. I'm wandering to so many species. I was a Gandharva, now I'm a demon. In this material world as a result of my fruitive activities. Therefore, I simply seek friendship in the association of your pious and enlightened devotees. Not asking for liberation, but ultimate safety, and that is to be with devotees. My attachment to my body, wife, children, and home is continuing by the spell of an external energy. But I wish to be attached to them no longer. Let my mind, my consciousness, and everything I have be attached only to you." Such amazing prayers which talks only about attachment to Krishna, only about attachment to his devotees, is what we see as a main standard feature of prayers of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we see here Vritrasura and Kunti Maharani praying, but at the same time their prayers have a similar thread. Lord smiles at his devotee. We see how in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, as Arjuna is getting bewildered in the beginning chapter, and as the second chapter begins, Arjuna is almost to give up. He's giving all the reasons why he should not fight. And the Lord, is so disgusted, he reprimands Arjuna. He said, how come such lowly qualities have come to you, and why are you speaking like an important person? But after that, after hearing this, reprimand from the Lord, Arjuna goes all the more berserk, and he just falls down at the feet and saying, no, I just cannot handle this. I cannot fight. And there, he surrenders to the Lord, saying, I'm your student now. Please guide me. I shall no more fight. I cannot do anything. And that is the time Krishna again smiles. So it is mentioned that Krishna smiles, prasan iva bhavata. Just smile, mild smiling. So the reasons are amazing, where Krishna smile, because to look at when somebody is very overwhelmed, and where if normally what happens, when you are overwhelmed and the other person is overwhelmed, it just adds to your anxiety. Normally it's said that whenever you want guidance, you go to somebody who is little smarter or senior to you. If you have problem and you go to somebody who is not advanced, he will add to your problem. So you have this problem, I'll tell you my problem. And it just the problem increases infinitum, and you are more into anxiety. So here Krishna gave us smile of assurance. Don't worry, everything is controlled. We'll take care of it. So to solace the overwhelming, response of Arjuna is saying, don't worry. And just like many times, Srila Prabhupada also gives such amazing analogies, jokes, anecdotes, so many proverbs, very, 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 very local proverbs, so many Bengali proverbs, so that the other person who's hearing can understand that, okay, this is very easy. It means that whatever is coming next also will be easy. So very soon now Krishna is going to open the, box of so many grave topics like, soul. So here before the gravity begins, Krishna begins, with a smile, like, don't worry, to lighten the mood so that he leaves anxiety and is ready to hear. And now that earlier he reprimanded Arjuna because he acted like a friend, but now he is a disciple. So Krishna, although wanted to shout at Arjuna, but now that he had taken shelter, he is, was okay, take it. Don't worry. Now that you have taken shelter, I will definitely guide. But this guidance will be a union of friendship and servitude. We will handle it, but we'll handle it in a very, very amazing way. So in the first chapter, Krishna was controlled by Arjuna, where he's saying, take the Ratha in between the field so that I can see them closely. But now as Krishna smiles here, he's saying, don't worry. I am going to control your mind now. I'm going to give directions. I'm going to give proper instructions to you so that you can understand the gravity of the situation and do your duty perfectly. So like this, so many times Krishna has smiled and he's smiling. After the prayers of demigods, he'll smile. As the Gopas come and pray to him, we are hungry, Krishna will smile. As all the Brahman Patnis, they come, Krishna is smiling. His smile speaks volumes. And one more word amazing in this purport is Kalapade. That is choicest words. She has, according to her, capacity, has spoken such amazing words. Prabhupada has used the verse Uttama Shloka. One verse comes in 10th canto where Lord Brahma is praying that, what will I glorify you? There have been, Prabhupada translates as, there have been scientists who have able to count the atoms, who are able to count, sand, who are able to count snow. But nobody has yet been able to count your glories. So in the purport, Srila Sanatana Goswami mentions that, actually, Lord Shankarshana has counted everything. He has counted the dust particles, has counted the atoms. But he is not able to count the glories of the Lord. When the universe needed to be suspended, Lord Brahma requested Lord Ananta to hold and said, how long do you want me to hold this? I will hold it, but how long do you want me to hold this? So Lord Brahma said, you hold it as long as you don't stop glorifying the Lord. You stop glorifying the Lord, then you can keep it down. So, in a very tricky manager, he, engaged Lord Shankarshana in holding and he is holding. But amazingly, with a lot of care, Lord Brahma told him the favorite activity of his by which he will not even understand. It is said that, when you hold a small thing, whatever, if you hold it for a long time, it becomes really very heavy. A small brick, you might hold. But for a longer time, it becomes more difficult to hold. So here, Lord Brahma requested Lord Shankarshan to glorify the Lord. And as he is glorifying, his ecstasy is increasing. But he is not able to finish the glories. And at the same time, he is so absorbed that he is not feeling the weight of the universe, rather feeling it as insignificant as a mustard seed, as a sesame seed. So, Parashar Bhatta, once, as he went to take darshan of Lord Ranganath, he just, Nam Perumal, the Utsava deity of Ranganath, was just finished taking bath. And he said, okay, Parashar Bhatta came in front, and such are the exalted devotees that the Lord directly speaks to them. So the Lord said, okay, I am ready now. So how do I look? Can you glorify me? So Parashar Bhatta said, not really. I think your glories are so unlimited that I will need the power of 1,000 tongues to glorify you. So the Lord said, is it? Okay. So I grant you, tathastu. let you have the power. But still he was standing still. Bola, "Arey, still you are not glorifying." He said, "Actually, even after getting 1,000 tongues, no, I'm not able to glorify you." He said, "What is this? You asked me for this power. I gave you the power. Now you're not glorifying." So Parashara said that if I would have said before that, even if you give me the power, I can't glorify you enough, then the world wouldn't have understood. But now that you have given me the power, and now I'm saying that I'm not able to, I don't have sufficient power to glorify you, shows the enormity of your glories. They are so infinite that even if I begin, it will not be possible. Such are the beautiful glories of the Lord. Kalappadai, Uttama Shloka. He is ready to hear the glories. Now, coming to the beautiful Mandam Jahasa Vaikuntho. The Lord is smiling. In the Nectar of Devotion, we have a beautiful description of Krishna's smile. Or how Krishna makes his devotees smile, rather. So, in the 46th chapter, the Nectar of Devotion mentions, what are different types of smile. So, the first is Smita Hasya. Smita, where, what is the definition of Smita? Where there is a change in your eyes and your cheeks, just a little bit. So here, Srila Rupa Goswami gives a description of a pastime where such smile was shown. It's so amazing, Nectar of Devotion, where for everything mentioned, there is evidence also given by a Leela. So he's saying, Smita Hasya. I think when Krishna was stealing yogurt in his own house, so there was this gopi called as Jarati, and she started running behind Krishna and trying to catch him, and she was very strict and very hard. So Krishna was really afraid. So he goes to Baladeva and takes shelter and saying, "Please save me. Jarati is behind me. She's going to really beat me up. Please save me." Now, looking at the Supreme Personality of Godhead taking shelter of Baladev, the sages in the heavenly planets, they smile. And that is a Smita Hasya. The next comes Hasita. First is Smita, then comes Hasita, where the teeth are slightly visible. So the story comes, he gives evidence of where Abhimanyu, the shadow incarnation of Krishna, who is the so-called husband of Radharani, as he is coming towards his house, Krishna is already there in the house. So Krishna takes the form of Abhimanyu and goes to Jatila and tells her that I am the original Abhimanyu. Krishna is taking my dress and he's coming. Please go and take care of him. So Jatila understood, thank you for informing me. And she goes out and starts beating up the real Abhimanyu. And as she is beating, Krishna, Radharani's friends, other gopis, they smile. They can't smile openly because, otherwise the whole secret will come out. So they are smiling. That smile is called as Hasita, where the teeth are visible. Next comes Vihasita. That is, the teeth are distinctly visible. In the sense, sari batti si. The entire smile all the teeth can be seen. So as Krishna is coming to steal butter, he comes right in the house of Jatila. And as he sees her sleeping, she wants to catch him. But she is acting as if she is sleeping. And here, Krishna is very softly mentioning to his Gopa friends, see, she's sleeping, and very deep sleeping. I can see her breathing. It's very deep. She's fully sleeping. Let's steal butter and not disturb her. So after hearing that, how foolish Krishna is, Jatila smiles with a Vihasita, Hasya, just to show that, very soon I'm going to catch you. What do you think? The next is, first is Smita, Hasita, Vihasita, and now comes Avasita. Avahasita, that is, the nose becomes puffed and the eyes squint. Such laughter. So, after the rasa dance, when Krishna returns home, just like, the Mangal Aarti of the Banki Bihari temple is very late. Why? Because the Lord is still in the Rasa Leela and he comes back and all his clothes are, in a shatter, not very neatly. So here, as Yashodamai sees Krishna, she sees Krishna wearing a different dress and so many minerals on his eyes. She's wondering, is it, what happened? No, where have you been? And because she's not able to fathom and Krishna is not able to answer and he's in such a confused look, so the other gopis who are Mother Yashoda's assistants, they smile and they laugh loudly with the nose puffed up and the eyes squint. Actually, they don't laugh loudly. You're not able to control. It's like a balloon. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Everything starts bulging, but you don't burst. So here they can't laugh loudly because they'll Krishna will feel bad, but the nose puffs up and the eyes are squinting and they are smiling. And next is Apahasita. Avahasita, and now it is Apahasita. Apahasita is the tears are added and the shoulders start shaking. So when Narad Muni, the evidence is given when Narad Muni is seeing Krishna Leela from far and he sees that the same Mukhara Gopi who was behind Krishna to punish him, now she's making Krishna dance to her own tunes. So looking at the supreme controller of the universe dancing to the tunes of a simple gopi, Narad Muni cannot control his smile, his laughter. So he's so shocked to see that there's tears gliding his cheeks and his shoulder is shaking. And the last is Atihasita, where you clap your hands and leap in the air. That is the burster. Where Krishna, he comes to the same gopi and tells her, he said, your whole face is so slackened, you become so old, that now our leader of the monkey, Balimukha, he wants to get married to you. He has chosen you as your, wife. So looking at that, Jarati, she replies to Krishna, she's saying that, forget that monkey. I have chosen a better monkey. That is you. And looking at that sarcastic reply, the other gopis start laughing and jumping in air as they clap. Such nice befitting answer has been given to Krishna. So that smile is so enchanting that when Krishna displays that smile, one can forget Haser Harer Avanathila Lokativram Shokagru Shokashru Sagara Vashoshanam Attudaram. Kapil Muni says that the smile is so amazing that it absorbs or evaporates the Shok Ashru. The living entity, the main feature is crying and lamenting. Crying about the past and lamenting and being anxious about the future. So, immersed in that Shok Ashru. So here, the Smita Hasya of the Lord, the beautiful smile of the Lord can evaporate everything. And near Tanjore, there is a very beautiful deity of Mannar Guddi Gopalan, Rajagopalan. He's called as Rajagopalan. That deity is considered to be the most beautiful deity, most beautiful Utsavara deity because it has such beaming smile. Every deity has a smile. the main smile is, whenever the painter paints the deities, there is always, injunction that, let the smile be very nice so that, the Lord the Lord reciprocates. So here, the deity of Rajgopalan has such amazing smile. It is said that he is so beautiful that when the mention of prayers to Rajgopal Swami is not mentioned in the Diva Prabandhams, because it is said that many of the Alwars, as they came to this place, the beauty was so overwhelming that he could not speak anything. They had loss of words to glorify the Lord. It said that the Tirumangai Alvar, he came to the gates of the Lord, of the temple, and the Dhwajastambha had fallen down. He made it right, but somehow that he didn't enter the temple. So this Mannarguddi Rajgopalan Swami is so beautiful, and it is said that the kshetra he stays in, that whole tank, it has at least 9 tirthas around it, and one of the largest lakes, called as the Haridra Nidhi. On the banks of Haridra Nidhi, in Satya Yuga, Lord Brahma got darshan. In the Treta Yuga, Brigu and Mahalakshmi got darshan. In the Dwapar Yuga, there were these sages called as Gopila and Goprala. And in Kali Yuga, King Rajashekhar got darshan of these deities. It is said that when in Dwapar Yuga, these sages, when they wanted to be liberated, they were guided by the Lord to go to Dwarka to meet Lord Krishna. But as they were on their way, Narad Muni came and said, sorry, the Lord has already wrapped up his Leela and gone back to Goloka. So they were so much despondent. So that is the time when they were guided to go to this very place, which is also called as Dakshina Dwaraka, where they meditated and they wanted Lord to appear in his Krishna avatara. They wanted that the Lord should appear in all the Krishna Leelas. So the first Leela that the Lord Krishna showed out of the, he showed 32 Leelas to them, which they till date celebrate in every festival. The first Leela was the pose of the main Moola deity there, the Moolavara deity there, who is Krishna with Rukmini Devi and Satyabhama, and is holding the tusk of Kuvalayapid. Where he broke the tusk, he's holding that. And the last Leela is Rajgopala Swami, who's standing in a threefold bending form with his hand holding a whip, and the other hand, just like our Krishna Balaramji's hand is up. So his hand is on a cow. There are 2 calves and 1 cow behind, and smiling in very enchanting way. The specific amazing feature is he's wearing 2 different earrings in his ears. It is said that when there was a competition between the gopis as to who will swim and come back and dress. So when the gopis came back and dressed, and they had to pick up their own garments and own jewelry. So as they were, one gopi was searching, where is my one kundal? The earrings of ladies are different and the earrings of the gents are different. So here, she could not find her earring, but she was very happy to see that the Lord had worn her one earring. So till date, they have different kundals for the Lord. And the worship here is amazing. Every morning, the worship begins at 5 a.m., where the Lord gives the Vishwarupa Darshan, where every day a cow and elephant come and worship the Lord. The elephant comes, he bows down on his knees, salutes the Lord and sprinkles the Lord with the water from the river. So they have maintained all the beautiful worship, and one more interesting thing is in this temple, because it's a primarily Krishna temple, there is also a temple of Durga which is not to be found in many other temples. Why? Because Yogamaya, who came as sister of Lord Krishna to be also worshipped, her temple also is there. And one more amazing thing is where Mother Lakshmi's temple, every Sri Vaishnava temple will have the main temple and then a separate temple of Sri Mahalakshmi. So there, the deity of Garuda is in female form. So it's everybody was wondering why the Alvars have not composed any prayers on this deity, but they unanimously they conclude that the smile of Sri Rajgopal Swami is the most brightest and most beautiful. So at the end, I would just like to recite this a beautiful prayer where a devotee of Lord Jagannath is glorifying the smile of Lord Jagannath. Where he is saying, Ki sundara tumi, Prabhu Jagannath, ki sundara chakka dola, your round eyes. Ki sundar tumakshi kshetra bhuvan. Ki sundar तुम रत्न सिंहासन की सुंदर शोनावेश की सुंदर तुम कालिया वदन बंक अधर बसन बंक अधर हास की सुंदर तुम्हार बैशी पहच्छ की सुंदर सिंहद्वार की सुंदर तुम्हा नील चक्र नेत ए चक्का डोला की सुंदर तुम्हार अदर हास. So beautiful smile of the Lord and beautiful pastimes of the Lord. So we pray at the lotus feet of Shri Radha Gopinath that we can concentrate on his smile and serve him in such a way that he can continuously smile at us. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande. Thank you.